I'm Everett. Welcome back to the shop. This time I've got a small project. It's really just making a sleeve. It's for a farmer buddy of mine from the shop I used to work at. Well, the reinforcement boss on one of his loader arms came out of the arm. I can put a little picture up here and show you what happened. But he needs a new sleeve made up so he can make sure it's lined up and weld a new sleeve in. He's tried contacting the manufacturer, and they don't seem to be helping him too much, so he's kind of on his own. And well, I kind of have a soft spot for farmers because they've really had it bad over the last some years here. And yeah, anything they can do to save them a few bucks, I mean, I got a soft spot for them. So what it did wind up doing for me though is he gave me a nice little drawing here. It's better than some of the napkin sketches I get from people who want stuff done. And he also gave me the pin that has to go in there. He wants this to be a slip fit in. So I mean, on the diagram here it says 1 inch inside diameter for the hole. He says he wants a few extra thousandths for this to slide in. So nicely enough, the tolerances on that part are pretty loose. Got a chunk of leftover drop here that'll work just fine. To start with, we're going to face off the end. We're going to drill this thing out first. All right, now we've drilled just about two, maybe 2¼ inches into this thing. I'd want to make sure there's enough clearance to allow for the tip angle of the larger drill bit. Oh. See how it fares at 360. He's doing it. There we go. Bottom of that hole. Now, because the pin itself doesn't actually have to pivot in this piece, and he wants some slack, I'm just going to drill it with a 1-inch drill. That will be close enough for what's required on this one. Now, one other question here to those of you who are actually working as machinists and have done this for, years and years and years. My machining instructor, Ken, was telling me that you'll get a more accurate hole if you have your flutes of your drill bit vertical versus horizontal or at an angle. Personally, I think he was pulling my leg, but just figured I'd put it out there. Any of you all have experience either way? Does it make a difference? I wouldn't think so myself, but I've been proven wrong before on a lot of things. So by all means, if you got an opinion, let me know. Granted, I'm pretty sure like any other profession, you get 4 machinists in a room, you get 5 opinions. Try to slow that down. Seems to be that way with a lot of things. I mean, mechanics and you name it. There we are. That's got a bit of warmth to it, but it's not bad. And the question is, yeah, that'll work. He said he wanted a bit of a slip fit, so I think that's going to be just about right for him. Next step is need to turn this outside diameter. It's got to come down to 1-inch 7/60. And the thing has to be 1-inch 7/69 long. We'll do our turning back to about 2 inches. Alright, that should be 1 inch 800, give or take. It's still fairly warm. 1 inch 802, and it's still fairly warm. So yeah, another 40 thou, and we're there. Yeah, it's got a bit of warmth to it. But, you know, 1 inch 760. Bit warm. It'll probably come down to 1 inch 759, but that will be close enough for what he's doing. Yeah, and a reasonable surface finish too. Next step is chamfer it. There we go, touching. Take our dial indicator here, bring it over, and measure out 1 inch 769. Yeah, do one inch 770. Now when we bring this over to where it says 0, right there, that's where we're at. And lock off our bed. Actually, that seems to be doing really well. Maybe I will run with it. Normally I have grief trying to part with this tool post. So with my secondary camera, I'm finding it's just a little hard to work around the tripod. May have to come up with some form of boom or something. I don't know if there are different grades of mild steel as far as 1018 with what's in them, because it just sure seems like some batches are a lot grabbier with tools than others. And I know there are volumes and volumes and volumes having to do with metallurgy. But just, I don't know, it makes me wonder. Okay, so I'm still kind of nervous on this one because often when I try to part, you know, do a full part with this tool post, things grab like that. There we go. Like I was saying before, I don't really trust this. I think I need to try a different style. At this point, I think I'm just going to cut it off from the bandsaw and bring it back. Well, thankfully it's a couple of thou long because that parting bit really didn't do it any favors. Yeah, like I say, I can't really trust using this post for parting. I was against my better judgment. All right. 1 inch 770. Pretty close. It's within a thousandth of what he wanted. A couple little gummy spots, but I'm not going to be able to take those out without destroying the dimension. That's going to get welded anyway, so that's all going to disappear within the weld. Chamfer. There we are, one pin boss. I still have to put the hole in it, so we'll go over to the mill for that. Wouldn't you know it, just about to get set up in the mill, and I hear little man squeaking in the monitor here and crying. I gotta go deal with this. I'll be back in a moment. You won't know the difference, but I'll be back soon. Well, we'll see how much I can do with this one-handed, because little man kind of woke up in a bad mood, and so right now he's draped over. Well, I'm holding him with my right arm. Yeah. I won't be doing any cutting with him around, but I figure at least if I can get the basic setup going. Yes, I know it would be preferable to use a V-block, but for this situation, parallels will work. There. There we are. Get that roughly centered so the forces are roughly even. There. Yeah, put your pants back down there. Alright, so that's in place. Snug, snug. Good, that'll stay put. I don't normally do a bunch of work with him in the shop just because I don't want to scare him. But this is kind of a rush job. My buddy needs to feed his cows and he needs a tractor for it. $450. Lock our axes. There we are. Now this that's the center. There we go. Now, I realize it's not that complex of a part, but figured it might be interesting anyway. So there we go. That's what he needs, and he'll get her welded in and get his tractor back up and running. Well, even though little man woke up a little earlier than I expected, you know, he's been cooperating with me so far here in the shop. He's just sitting in his little play area. Yeah, he's giving me that look of, are we done yet? I'll try to get him to send me a picture of this thing once it's in place, welded in. So again, you know, context is everything once the repair is done. So like I say, just a little quickie. I had to pause the lathe foot project just for this one because he needs his tractor to feed his cows. So anyway, till next time, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and hope you're all doing well.